There is a disturbing amount of talk about bad police officers lately. At times it may seem like the whole bunch is bad, but it really is just a handful of bad apples. A very, very large handful of bad apples. I must tell you a story. I was going to school in the 1980s, and during that time there were many problems. Especially in the late 80s. People breaking into lockers constantly, lots of drug use, ethnic and racial slurs, a disturbing amount of derogatory slang, and violence. Thankfully not as much as schools in the Dallas area. Still many a teacher witnessed horrible things being said throughout the halls. As well as students like myself getting the crap beat out of them. This included being mugged at knife point. I was a pacifist. To be fair, I do not know for sure if anyone actually witnessed the weapons, but it really does not matter. The point is that violence was allowed to happen and the school simply would not deal with it. So not knowing what else to do, I informed the Plano, Texas Police Department. Several times I tried to talk to them, and every time I was told that it was not their problem and they did not care. This could not have been more clear. At some point I completely lost all faith in the cops. Later I would actually see them ignoring crimes that would happen right in front of them. I no longer had any respect for them. To this day they deny any wrongdoing at all and lie about a police presence in the schools at the time. Also, it turns out that there were a great many gay bashers in the Dallas police departments. Not that I am surprised. However, as time went on I did all I could to prevent further bullying in the school district I attended and the local one in my small country town. I cannot help but believe that there truly are a lot of good cops out there. Ones that care. Ones that fight for us and our rights. Slowly but surely I regained my faith by realizing that these people are human beings. Though instead of going to work in a fast food restaurant, bank, retail store, office building, or wherever we may go to work every day, these police officers choose to patrol, investigate, and take the bad guys off the streets. And by bad guys I am not talking about some guy who has a little bit of weed on his person. As much as I loathe drugs, I do not consider minor drug possession offenses to be terribly serious. People spend far too long in jail and prison for such petty things. It is time we the people change those laws permanently. But that is not the fault of the police officers. They have rules and laws to follow. They really have little choice. But they do take down dangerous criminals like killers, psychotics, and people who commit various horrific assaults on men, women, and children. These officers do make a difference and keep us safe. They care. They are out there doing what they do to help us and keep us alive. Certainly there are many that are not honest. Downright corrupt. I encountered those in McKinney, Texas as well. Many are trigger happy and afraid. Others are prone to taking bribes. And there are quite a few who are racist or prejudiced against various types of people. Or they just like feeling like big shots by carrying weapons. It does surprise me that it has become so common. But still I cannot allow this to break my faith. Like Fox from the X-Files, I want to believe. I have to believe. Night after night these officers return home to their families and their nightmares. They are under constant stress and scrutiny, now more than ever. They are out there willing to lay their lives on the line for all of us with very little to show for it. Think about how much a police officer gets paid compared to an office worker, for instance. Not that there is anything wrong with office work or anything. I am just saying that cops do so much for rather low pay. You have to ask yourself why? Why go through all of that if they did not care? In America it used to be that you were innocent unless proven guilty. Now for cops it is the other way around. There is little trust anymore, but the situation is not hopeless. I have spoken to the Justice Department and numerous police organizations across the country about the problem of violence in schools. Instead of screaming, protesting, insulting officers, and holding up traffic, I opened up a reasonable dialogue with them and got results. Relations between the schools I attended as a youth and the police department there are much better now. Though there is room for improvement as always. Dialogue and trust must be established before any change can occur. And there must be change, make no mistake. Verbally or physically attacking cops, however, is not the way to do it. Also, the media distorts every story because that is their job. Always they jump to conclusions with little or no evidence. And people listen. Try listening to yourself instead. If you see a problem in everyday life, then try to confront it in a calm, reasonable manner first. Forget the hate and save your rage for those clearly unwilling to change. Above all, believe that there are true heroes out there. Most of them wear a badge.